cause you to drop over dead in your tracks and so on. And the athletes are looking around and say, geez, you know, I haven't seen that many guys die.
Are steroids killing people?
Steroids clearly are killing people, both in the short term and in the long term.
Dr. Gary Wadler is an advisor to the World Anti-Doping Agency and the media's go-to guy when it comes to steroids.
We know it's been associated with stroke in young people, from which there was no other obvious explanation. We know it's been associated with heart attacks, for which there was no other obvious explanation. We know it increases clotting.
What bothers me is people like Dr. Gary Wadler, who's a physician, and going before Congress and saying these things. And when confronted, please produce a single article that shows any of this in any scientific way. Can't do it.
Dr. Norm Faust is a professor of medical ethics with a research focus on performance-enhancing drugs.
I'm not denying that there aren't some serious adverse effects from anabolic steroids. It's just that we haven't been able to demonstrate any of them. Maybe that's because we don't study them. One of the problems with the ban on steroids is that it's impossible to do the kind of research that would answer these questions.
Some purists would like to see those studies done. Well, I can assure you they never will be done. It'd be a totally unethical study to do. So we have to use the information we have at hand.
Depression, convulsions, anxiety, jaundice, myocardial infarction, which is heart attack, eczema, abscess, vaginal pain, vaginal discharge. You want to know what I'm reading this from? What does that say?
Vitamin C?
Thank you. I mean, look, peanuts are dangerous. You understand? Mm-hmm. There are people that take a peanut, that have a peanut, and they go into anaphylactic shock. Okay? The airway closes up, that's it, they die. Now, does that mean that we ban peanuts and sue God for making them?
No.
Right. What we do is we say, okay, peanut warnings.
There is no safe drug. There is no safe drug that ever exists. There's always a benefit to risk ratio. You name the drug, X% of people will suffer adverse effects.
Do you feel any side effects ever?
Yeah, I've had some side effects, acne, hair growth. Some side effects that I've had are...
What do you mean by hair growth? On your head?
No, just on my chest and my back and stuff.
I never break out. My back doesn't break out. I don't get hairy from it. You know, yeah, I get a little testicular atrophy, but then they come back. I mean, you know, it's normal.
Your balls shrink?
Balls shrink.
But who needs them?
Who needs them?
What about testosterone? I have some friends who say it is like a wonder drug. It makes them feel great. It makes them feel, you know, frisky and young, and it's great for their skin.
The negative side effects would be my lovely singing voice. Hair like a monkey from my head to my toes. I mean, hair growing out places you don't even want to talk about.
I mean, I want to stay feminine. Yeah. And I think that's why I get so much work, is because I still look like a woman, and, you know, I still have hard muscles.
In my experience, steroids are just going to make you more of whatever you are. If you're a jerk and you take steroids, you're a super jerk, right? You've seen that, right? You go beyond. You're an asshole.
I've never seen roid rage. I've never seen any difference in his personality or how he's with me, how he is with Jake. It hasn't done anything that all those after-school specials tell you that it's going to do.
Bryce, I got to get bigger, man. Yes, ma'am. Steroids.
What is going on with you?
God damn it!
While I was visiting my brother and his family, they told me they were thinking of having another child, but that another possible side effect of steroids was on their minds.
If you couldn't have another kid, would it be something that you regret because you did steroids?
Yeah, if it was simply from that, yeah, I'd probably regret it. But there's a lot of things people regret in their lives, so I'm not, you know, it's a decision I made, and it's a decision I'll have to live with, whatever the consequences are.
It's been 15 years since Alzado died.
Why did you lie to me?
I was afraid.
Looking back on Maria Shriver's interview, I can't help but wonder, why wasn't she asking the real questions? Like, is this going to happen to my husband? Did she really believe Lyle? Or was this just the beginning of the steroid myth? And even though the experts know a lot more about steroids, you sure wouldn't know it from watching the news.
Tonight, one of the nation's most serious drug problems, and it's only getting worse. It's steroids.
Professional wrestler Chris Benoit killed his wife, 7-year-old son, and then hung himself. Why did he do it? Steroids found in the house.
Steroids cause suicidal tendencies.
They hallucinate. They hear voices.
Depression, paranoia, and
steroids could be the actual cause for the Benoit.
Speculation is running wild.
I think these drugs could affect one's mindset.
We know.
Testosterone found.
Steroid. Let's cut through the crap. This is Steroids 101. First of all, the term steroids is often misused to describe any performance-enhancing drug, when in fact, many of these drugs are not actually steroids at all. So what are steroids? Well, steroids are synthetic versions of hormones that your body produces naturally. Like cortisone, that's a steroid. It signals the body to break down inflammation. Birth control pills are steroids too, made from the female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. But the steroids that get all the negative attention are anabolic steroids, made from the male sex hormone testosterone, which tells the body to increase muscle size and strength and helps you recover from workouts faster. Like any drug, anabolic steroids do have side effects, and if you abuse them, the side effects will be worse. For men, they can cause acne, hair growth, raise cholesterol, shrink your testicles, and lower your sperm count, which could even make you sterile. But all of these side effects are reversible when you go off the drugs. Otherwise, steroids don't cause baldness, but if it runs in your family, they might make you go bald faster. And they can also cause gynecomastia, or what the gym rats call bitch tits. For women, in addition to acne and hair growth, steroids can cause a deepened voice, menstrual problems, and can enlarge the clitoris, and some of these are not reversible. And for kids, some experts think steroids can stunt growth by closing growth plates prematurely. But that's actually never been proven. There's also no proof that steroids cause cancer, kidney failure, and only oral steroids in high dosages can cause liver problems. And it's true that steroids may be one of 1,000 risk factors that could lead to heart disease. But then again, low testosterone is another big risk factor. And roid rage? Steroids can increase aggression, but that only happens in about 5% of the population. And even then, they can't make you psychotic. And as for the long-term side effects, we don't know. No one's ever done those studies.
At what point do we say that a behavior is such that people just shouldn't be allowed to engage in it? I mean, we do allow people to do lots of things that can hurt themselves.
America's new junkies, plastic surgery addicts.
I've had like my eyes done, rhinoplasty, chin, cleft, pectoral implants, bicep implants, buttock augmentation, and those are the ones I can remember right offhand.
Common sense tells you this is dangerous and foolish. You wouldn't risk your neck in a trick like this. Common sense tells us that being shot out of a cannon is dangerous business.
Congress wanted to pass a law that would control steroids the same way as drugs like cocaine and heroin, and they called experts from the DEA, the FDA, and the American Medical Association. But they all testified that steroids should not be treated like illicit drugs. So Congress disregarded their experts, and in 1990, they passed the Anabolic Steroid Control Act, turning non-medical users into federal drug criminals.
This wasn't so much about health effects. It was really on what these things do that's good, in the sense that they build muscle. They improve the way that people can perform. And that, in a sports context, was seen as the ultimate evil. If we took a pie chart of steroid use and we looked at what percentage of that pie is comprised of athletes, they would be a very, very, very small slice of that pie. The overwhelming majority of the pie is comprised of the recreational gym rat who's doing it purely for cosmetic reasons. The irony is that we've addressed a sports cheating issue by creating a law that affects all the folks who aren't cheating in sports.
One look at Gregory Valentino's arms, and you know something's going on. The 40-year-old is charged with criminal possession of anabolic steroids with intent to sell.
Some people may call Greg Valentino a freak and a felon. I call him a neighbor. He lives down the block from my grandma. He also happens to have the biggest biceps in the world.
Holy crap. Do you have difficulty with just sort of the regular things in life, like making a sandwich?
No. I can hit a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Anybody want to challenge me? Let's do it. I'll show you. Watch this. Oh! Come on, Greg. Oh! Told you I'm no Barry Bonds. I'm a red meat man. I eat a lot.